Welcome back. In this movie, we're going to work on this other wrinkle here. This is going to be a tricky one, but I think we can do it. Let's deconstruct what's happening here a little bit. Well, one, we have the edge of the cheek there, which looks nice. Then we have this highlight. That highlight's our problem area, isn't it? And then we have the shadow behind the highlight. So we have to deal with the shadow, and we have to deal with the highlight. Let's start off with the shadow, because that'll probably be a little bit easier. Click on the new layer icon. Let's call this Neck 2. And then grab the clone stamp tool. Let's go to that blend mode we've seen before, which is lighten. Opacity really low. In this case, about 20% would be pretty good. Nice small brush. What I'm going to do here is just look to lighten up this wrinkle. So I'm going through this and painting away. Okay, so far. Zoom out a little bit, see if we are removing that. Yeah, we're starting to remove that shadow there. Go over here. Lighten up that portion a little bit. A little bit larger brush. Lighten up this over here behind the wrinkle there a little bit. Okay, before and after. I like it. Next thing we need to do is work on this part of the wrinkle. So let's zoom in a little bit. And that part is too bright. So we are going to go to darken. Lower opacity on darken. I'm going to go to about 8% here, and I'm going to option click and start to darken up this wrinkle. You know, one of the things I've found is on that darken blend mode, you want to use a much lower opacity than you do on the brightening, because if you darken something too much, it just looks strange. So we have to delicately darken this wrinkle, which we are doing here. I'd rather do it in multiple passes than hit it with one big pass where it doesn't look very realistic. And you know, as you're doing this, you never really know if you're going to nail it the first pass. So you just got to give it a try. Let's look at our before and after. Hey, we are going in a good direction, evening out the tone there a little bit. We'll zoom in a little bit more. Take my opacity up to 15% now. I'm going to darken this up a little bit more. Using the clone stamp tool to burn and dodge is phenomenal. There's no way around it. It is a wonderful, wonderful way to begin to even out tone. Let's look at our before and after. Hey, we're doing pretty well. Go back to the blend mode of lighten. A couple areas we want to lighten up there now. Wrinkles always have two sides. They have a light side and a dark side. What you want to do is to reduce or remove a wrinkle. You want to reduce the variation between those two sides. Hit a couple other little blemishes while I'm here. Hit these a little bit more. Let's zoom out. See how our neck is coming along. Here's our before. Here is our after. Again, before and after for the lower wrinkle, and then before and after for that upper wrinkle. A couple more areas that we need to fix up. Right there, I noticed a problem area. Need to lighten that up. Looked a little strange. The shape of that looked a little strange there, so I need to fix that up. All right, before and after, I think that is pretty cool. You know, one thing that I want to try with this particular wrinkle is now that I have lightened it up quite a bit, and I like how I've lightened it up, I think it's looking good. I'm going to add a little bit more shape to this portion of the neck here. Let's look at our before and after. I'm going to do that with the clone stamp tool. So I'll select clone stamp tool, take my blend mode to normal, take my opacity to 40%, and option click on the black background, clean up these flyaway hairs first, and then I'm going to make my brush a little bit bigger. These flyaways. Take my opacity down to 20% now. Notice I'm just approaching the edge of this. I'm not even on it. I'm just approaching the edge. Slowly darken that up. Let's go to 10% now. Actually, let's go to 5%. Oh, 5. There we go, 5%. That's what I'm talking about. Just a little bit of darkening on the edge. Again, all we're doing here is we're burning down some detail, trying to add a little bit of shape, a little bit of fall off, before and after. That's pretty cool. Let's zoom out, see how it looks. All right, overall before and after, so far so good. A little bit more cleanup I need to do. There's an odd part that's sticking out right there, so I'm going to take my opacity up on my painting here, and I'm going to darken that down. I don't want that part to stick out right there at all. If anything, I want it to go in a little bit. Get a little bit of fall off on that part of the neck, sure. Before and after. I think that improved the shape there a little bit. Overall, before and after for our neck. Here is before. I should zoom in, hey. And here is after, before, and after. A little bit more touch-up work I think we need to do. Let's look at this final one. One thing that I would like to do here is just drop my opacity a little bit. Bring back a tad bit of the wrinkle, a tad bit of the shape, the contour there of the face. So let's see where the sweet spot is. What percentage will work best for us? Looks like 85 looks realistic. And overall, before and after, great progress. We have more work to do, and we'll do that in the next movie. See you then.